They outlive a horse, but the number one reason they can take the heat. The horse can't take the heat that we have down here. Up to a point. This summer we shut down a lot because it got too hot down here. He's 15 years old. He's the only mule I use. All the drivers use the same mule. It's like having a really good dog. He knows my voice. You look at his ears right now. I'm sure they're up in the air. It's all good, Pretty Boy. But, this is my third month with Pretty Boy. We'll probably go another 4 months together. Then he goes on vacation for 2 months. Got a big farm called Conch Train. 25 mules there. We'll switch him out.
That's good.
Real smart animal. He's really good. He's very well trained. Goes nice and slow. You want to take a picture? You want to get a picture on the carriage? Anybody?
Just looking.
All right. Y'all look this way. Y'all say Mardi Gras. I do better now, Ohio. Come on. You got about 5 months to Mardi Gras too, if you want to talk about Mardi Gras. I haven't seen a camera in years.
Right.
What do I do? Hit this here?
You just press that big that end button right there. On video.
Real camera, folks. I haven't seen one of these. Kind of clogging up on the show. I'm not sure if that came out that well.
Thank you.
Give you a little background. You probably know a lot about this. We started off French, went over to the Spanish for 4 decades. Some people don't realize the Spanish was that long. Most of the French Quarter, architecture-wise, is all Spanish. I'll tell you exactly why in about 2 minutes. And we go back to the French. Good old Napoleon, like drinking his wine, not the best negotiator. The United States came in and made a fantastic land deal. It all started way back in 1682. French explorer came down here, Robert Rene Cavalier de La Salle. He got lost several times. Shooters we found just what he's looking for, right across the street to the Mississippi River. That made King Louis XIV a very happy king back in France. And now, you know what? We can now get to the Caribbean. We can now get to the Atlantic Ocean. Pretty much our money ticket right here. That's how things all got started. I'm gonna skip around a little bit on this tour. Anything you want to talk about, just let me know.
Okay.
Make sure y'all try our food. The cuisine's fantastic here. And the seafood is very fresh. Move it up! Move it up! What else you gonna make you turn my I'll go down there about you can see a lot more. Heading down here right now. On your left is historic Jackson Square. About to see the statue of our hero real soon. Come up here on your left. A big statue of a gentleman on a horse. That's our hero. That's General Andrew Jackson. He fought the British back in 1812, 1815. What's Andrew Jackson? We probably all have British accents right now. He later became the seventh president of the United States. That big church is here right there at St. Louis Cathedral. The oldest working Catholic cathedral in the United States. It's also the third church in that site. First one in 1722, knocked down by a hurricane. So in 1788, that was the year of the Great Big Fire. 50% of our city burned down. 6 years after that, another fire, another 20% burned down. So when the Spanish arrived here, late 17th century, they rebuilt the whole city. This time, no more wood buildings, all brick, stuff over some kind of cement. That's why most of the French Quarter is very Spanish. The original Cafe de Monde. Anybody been there yet?
Yeah.
Had a sugar over here? What's your birthday party?
Oh man, everybody doing sex and life. And then I went if that beat was the day. Oh man.
A lot of history back there, Spanish also built that building, the government building. 1803, that's where James Monroe made the transfer of the Louisiana Purchase. Thomas Jefferson signed it. Talk about a nice real estate deal. $15 million later, double the size of the United States. About 8 cents an acre. Quite the land deal. The building to the right of it is called the Tuscatore. The Spanish also built that building, built it just for the clergy. But right now it's a Mardi Gras. What's the source here? We'll give you a rough cut here, buddy. We're on the very edge of the French Quarter right now. So 6 blocks this way, 13 blocks this way. On the very edge right now. That big gold statue way up front, the lady on the horse, that's the statue of Joan of Arc. And you might wonder why she never came here. This is an old city. That was all of Joan of Arc. This is way back to the 14th century. She did win the Battle of Orleans, the city of Orleans. To my knowledge, that's the only connection with us to Joan of Arc. But France gave us that statue as a gift back in 1958. Nowadays, we very, very respectfully refer to that statue back there as Joni on the Pony. Sounds a little funny, but Joni on the Pony, very, very important. Joni on the Pony kicks off Mardi Gras. The very, very first parade, Joan of Arc parade. You get a high school senior, goes up to Joan of Arc, put her on a horse, she goes to the French Quarter, and that starts Carnival. It's on the 12th night, Feast of the Symphony, another Catholic holiday. You all been to a Mardi Gras? Nobody? I'm here. You remember this out now?
He lives here.
Oh, there we go. I thought last year was something very, very, they're all special. Last year was the first about 3 years we had a full-fledged Mardi Gras with darn pandemic going on. Most of the Mardi Gras now is way up in the garden. It's like the streets are way, way too narrow for gigantic floats. There are walking parades and small parades in the French Quarter. Most of the French Quarters, they come to party all the time. The real big parades up in the garden. St. Charles Avenue. Take a look at this red building on the left. Look at that window. See how it's kind of bent forward? See how uneven it is on the bottom right there? Well, our city's built on a swamp, which isn't the best idea. We also got a big problem with something called erosion. Army Corps of Engineers put these levees in to protect it from hurricanes. Everybody's going to the bathroom. The Army Corps meant well, they still mean well to this day. When they put a levee in, they do sediment from the Mississippi River. And that causes problems like this. It's also a big problem for our wetlands right now. We're working on it 24/7. It's a big, big problem. You look around, the whole French Quarter is very, very neat. The carpet's done there. We are right behind the French Quarter. If you look on your left and your right, you'll see brick buildings. That's the Spanish architecture. That's all Spanish street signs. You'll see some wood doors, some wood shutters. But predominantly, all the structures are made out of brick, stucco, or sometimes cement. Very, very Spanish. About 5,000 people live here in the French Quarter. All these homes, these are homes and apartments, condominiums. I know they're very, very plain from the outside. Beautiful on the inside, using French colonial architecture. Almost all these homes, apartments, condominiums, have a big focal point. Now the focal point is the courtyard in the back of the house. Some are small, some are large, some are shared, some are private. It's a big focal point of the homes. This one I believe is open on here on the left. That's a very, very authentic Creole courtyard. Some are almost as large, some are much smaller than that. That's a shared courtyard right there. This home on your right was a lot bigger than it looks. Way, way back, 5 or 6 bedrooms. Looks like this is for $1.5 million. The French Quarter is very, very pricey. Short of something. One other thing you can notice in French Quarter, where people live, like the house on the left with green shutters, people live in the French Quarter, they tend to keep the French Quarter closed almost all the time. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. I'll tell you about the close shop. Take a little bit more history first. King Louis the 14th, one half the king back those days. That big old river. A few years after they found the river, King Louis the 14th was, I need a city. I got the river, now I need some kind of city. This time he sent Bernard Bienville down here, another French explorer. The sole purpose of Bienville's trip, find me a port city for that big old river. Bienville saw parts of Florida, like Pensacola quite a bit. He went further, he saw Mobile, Alabama, which really almost became our city. He loved it there. Matter of fact, Mobile, Alabama is the site of the very first Mardi Gras right here. He stayed there for several months. He did some more traveling. He got downriver. He saw this portion of the river right here. He estimated back in 1717, he estimated back in those days it was very, very safe. He estimated it's about 12 feet above sea level. I'm going to put a fort right there. I'm going to call this place La Nouvelle Orleans, which we now call New Orleans. That happened in 1718. Even with my days in Mansfield, this city's old in our country. It's still a swamp to this day. You saw that building back there? You put this asphalt 8 feet, and nothing but a big swamp here. This is why the roads are in such terrible condition. Now, Bienville State, he did not go back to France, but it was tough going back in those days. This is one great big swamp, trying to put roads in there, big old rodents, alligators. Then he had two big problems. First big problem was tiny little mosquitoes called disease, which was yellow fever. They had no idea it was coming from mosquito back then. They thought it was coming from the atmosphere. His other big problem was no sanitation. What folks did back in those days, kept the shutters closed, no sanitation. They opened up the front shutter. Out into the swamp came all the garbage. Now you got cholera going on. That yellow fever, people kept dying off here. He stuck it out. Boy, it was tough going. Hotel Principal, a beautiful hotel. Back in the Civil War days, functioned as a hospital. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of death back there. I haven't seen one yet. The hotel is very, very home. First time I've seen it. One more car in the food. So Bienville, he's stuck it out. He's not go back to France. Luckily, he got some help. One more car. The homes were all made out of wood back in those days. Doing good there, pretty well. I got balloons here, so pretty well. Bienville was dealing with cholera, he was dealing with yellow fever, a lot of death back in those days. Luckily, he got some help. He had two big fires. The real big one was 1788. This structure was back in 1754. The oldest building in the lower Mississippi River Valley. It survived the flood, and the hurricane, and the fire, and it's a museum right now. This is where the nuns used to live. They came from Normandy, France, Ursuline convent. They got here, right to work, opened an orphanage, opened a private school just for girls. Then they pretty much saved the day for Bienville. It's folks living about disease. That's the whole convent. The middle part that looks like a warehouse, they turned that into a hospital. I spoke to 3 different historians. Richard Campanella wrote a great book about this. Great author here. He told me without these nuns, they don't think the city would survive. There's so much disease back in those days. The nuns are still here to this day. Now they're up in the garden district. They're very, very happy they came and very, very happy they stayed. The big building on your left, the big white pillars, and that's Greek architecture. You see a lot of Greek architecture, especially in the garden district. The ironwork is very, very Spanish. That's the old Beauregard mansion. That's where General Beauregard used to live. A famous general back in the old days. One of the things he's probably most famous for was the Civil War. He basically started the Civil War. The very, very first shot of the Civil War was summoned by General Beauregard back at Fort Sumter, South Carolina. He got the Civil War up and running. Afterward, became our governor. Great, great things for our city. And after he passed, several people went through his home. But the last person to live here that was historically important was a young writer. Her name was Frances Parkinson Keyes, and she wrote murder mysteries. And her most famous book was called Dinner at Antoine's. You might have all heard about Antoine's, a famous French restaurant 8 blocks up on the right. what makes Antoine so famous, the oldest family-owned restaurant in the United States is back to 1840. The same family owned it to this very, very day. That's where Oysters Rockefeller was invented. There's a beautiful courtyard back here. Usually Saturdays, almost every Saturday, we have a wedding reception or something like a graduation back here. This has been so darn hot this summer, and then we'll put them inside. Let's go. All this ironwork is going to the French Quarter, the Beauregard Mansion, and these galleries up here and the balconies. Also, that was all done by the Spanish as well. The Spanish really knew what they're doing. That's all cast iron and wrought iron. If you take reasonably good care of that stuff, it's going to last you a lifetime. Plus, it's not going to burn. The Spanish are really sick with dark fire. You can actually tour the condominium if you want to. This is an apartment building on the left, a condominium. Once again, we got closed shutters all the time. A long time ago, I looked into this. Why do they always keep the shutter closed all the time?
Okay, I'm not bored today. I'm tired of being an scapegoat for
There's a
everything.
couple of common reasons. Folks in Florida know about this, how hot it gets during the summertime. Keeps the front of the house a little bit cool. We call our sidewalks banquettes, the French term for a sidewalk. We're very, very close to the house right here. It's a really nice courtyard here in the light. But even to this day, the major reason, you see how bright it is back there? Even to this day, one of the major reasons they keep the shutters closed all the time, it's a cultural reason. It's way, way back in the field there. The field was very, very private people, but they loved entertaining. Next time I go visit you folks in Florida, Ohio, it's all nice enough to invite me to your home, so if you would, come invite me in the front door. Your guests, welcome Marty. Let's watch the Buckeyes, let's watch the Gators, let's have a Saturday dinner, let's have a good old time. Here's just the opposite. You keep your shutters closed, you meet your guests at that gateway back we saw back there, you bring your guests back to the courtyard, that's where you watch your Saints game, that's where you have your Saturday night dinner, that's where you enter the home, through the back, through the courtyard. And the shutters in the back of the house, like we saw back there, are wide open. The focal point of all these homes is the courtyard. And things really haven't changed much even to this day. There's I know this home, there's a home down here, 5 homes on your left. It's very, very plain, just like that one on your left. 1, 2, 3, 4 homes on your left. That home was sold for $5.5 million. That's what Brad Pitt used to live down there. I don't have the bankroll that Brad Pitt has. Back in the 80s, I used to live in the French Quarter. Old time with Marty up here. Back in my single days, good old time in the French Quarter. I'm having a good time now, but back in those days, I was a single guy living in the French Quarter, worked in the French Quarter. I had a tiny, tiny studio apartment on Decatur Street. We all got on the carriage, further down this way. All I needed was this little studio. Perfect. I think it was about $600 a month. It sounds great. It's a little pricey for the 80s, let me tell you, to get back that far. Well, I moved away and quite a bit of traveling. I lost the apartment. Still there to this day. Now it's a tiny, tiny studio condominium. You're getting $1,800. But besides being the store, being the French Quarter being a store, think about this. After Hurricane Katrina, 80% of our city flooded. The French Quarter didn't flood. 8 feet above sea level. Real big skyscraper. You go nice to a hotel in Lake Richelieu. Some of these small hotels had a terrible, terrible time with that pandemic. Richelieu was closed for almost a year. We opened up a fantastic little hotel. It's actually the only hotel in our city called the Party District. We was a freaking business bar. Got to stay there for 3 months one time. We came down here to do a lot of recording. Game wins. Wanted to get that famous World Rhythm Blues sound that we know. A lot of little winds recording for them. Right here we go. Famous for an existing left here, get a better, I think the left get a better view of this home on the right here. Light blue house with green shutters. That's a very, very traditional, what they call a shotgun house. At the front of the house, the back house is exactly the same, no hallways. So we could probably all fit in that home, the 6 of us right here, all get along real well, no privacy.
I'd rather live than not.
We all got to room for the Saints in this building. Now back in the old days, well, they fit well in the French Quarter because they're narrow.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, with no air conditioning, you'd open up your front shutters, open up your back shutters, keep your fingers crossed for a breeze, there's your air conditioning. They call it a shotgun house. They say if you open your front shutters and your back shutters, you can shoot a shotgun through it. I'm sure some goofballs probably tried that one day. Now, that type of architecture, the shotgun house, that architecture type actually came from Haiti. Haiti also brought voodoo with them. In 1791, there was a Haitian Revolution. Over 10,000 Haitians moved there. Wonderful people. They were Catholics. They believed in God. And they thought for some reason, something besides God could possibly affect their everyday life. So they practiced voodoo, which is not practiced here too much anymore. If it is, you're never going to know about it. It'll be very, very possible. Let's go left here, pretty boy. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Put it long and narrow. Let's go over here. See these spikes on the right here? More up here. I apologize in advance, just the only joke to tour.
So they don't get in.
So the bad people don't get in. But they like to call those Romeo spikes here. What they're joking about is Romeo, not really a joke. Romeo would climb over those spikes, trying to get to somebody's daughter, and Romeo climbed back over those spikes. You look more like Juliet. No more jokes. You probably heard the nickname they call it the Big Easy or the Crescent City. The nickname I like, you don't hear it anymore. Some people used to refer to us as the most northern city in the Caribbean. What they're joking about, they paint the homes around here. Very, very Caribbean of colors. Caribbean is also used for our food quite a bit. Like a lot of old cities in our country, I know St. Augustine definitely has one. We have a historical commission here. Our commission is called the Buggy Commission. They get very, very involved with real estate. If you want to buy a home here, the same thing as Ohio, or Florida, where you're from, you sign all these darn papers and the mortgage company signs it. Same thing here. Before you sign all the pages, the Buggy Commission comes with an agreement for you. Let's say you want to buy this home right here or that home right there. What you're agreeing to, you're going to buy that home, but you're going to keep everything just like that. Nothing changes. All the shutters, the pillars right there, the big pillars like that. Now, inside the house, you do whatever you want. You paint it, you want a kitchen in, outside, just like this. And they get very,
Like
very,
that, HOA.
yeah, it's like that. They get real fussy about this thing. Let's go. I think it's a good thing. Let's go left here. It's been so hot this summer, it almost seems like a nice spring day. This is Royal Street. The nicest streets in the French Quarter. There's about 5,000 people live in the French Quarter. This street's very, very residential. Very, very Spanish architecture. It's very, very quiet. You see some art galleries, some shopping, even a women's clothing store, small boutique hotels. Oddly enough, just one block to your right is Bourbon Street. So they're going completely crazy on Bourbon Street. You need a little break. Even during Mardi Gras, you walk one block to your left, it's usually pretty quiet here. Now food-wise, seafood's really good right now. Crawfish is pretty much on the season. I had some shrimp the other night. The grilled redfish was fantastic. We got the fancy restaurants. You want to get dressed up and go to Antoine's. We got casual restaurants. I kind of like the casual restaurants, especially in the summertime. The food's just fantastic. Besides the casual restaurants, we got some little hole in the walls. The food is really, really good. My wife Susan's a very happy guy. They're very happy. I bought her a brand new washer dryer. And Home Depot's going to drop it off today. She's both sides. Staying home, clean house. Can't wait. Hey, how about you picking up some dinner tonight? I'll clean out. Sure, no problem. What do you want? Really good shrimp po' boy. That's easy enough. Doesn't look like much. This little hole in the wall right here, the birdie mark, the sign's all beat up. It's open 24 hours a day. Some of the very, very best po' boy sandwiches in town. The takeout, the deli, it's real good. What's one of them? Anybody watch the Anthony Bourdain shows? Famous chef? Yeah. He did 2 shows here in our city. The last show he did here, he ordered out to that place, to his hotel. He ordered a pack of cigarettes, a fifth of bourbon, and shrimp po' boy. Sounds like I don't do any ghost stories. I'm sorry, I've never seen a ghost, so I don't think I'd be a very good tour guide. I'll see one I've never seen. But if you do take one of these haunted tours, it's a lot of fun, they're very entertaining. I definitely recommend it. They're probably going to stop somewhere right around here. I'll tell you all about this big gray house on the left of it. That is supposed to be the most haunted house in our entire country, not city, but country. It's the La Laurie Mansion. They made a movie about it, American Horror Story. It's the great Kathy Bates. This is the home right here. It's not a very nice story. It's really empty right now. The bank had it for years and years and years. And 2 years ago, a couple from Texas bought it. They got two caretakers. One does the flowers, one does the lights at night. People always go up in there. But no one's allowed it. They wouldn't even put the movie crew in there. Until the movie got here was of course, movies change things around quite a bit. Two things the movie got 100% right. Two of the richest people in town, Creoles, and probably the two worst human beings of all time. They were slave owners. There's no reason whatsoever they tortured slaves. A lot of bad stuff went on in this place right there. It's completely empty right now. People tried to move in there. A couple died in France. So they escaped that. The neighbors want to hang them. They realize what's going on there. They escaped to France. Several people have tried moving into that home. No one's lasted more than 7 months. So you can't stand it. Somebody even tried to put a private boys' school in that place. That went down in about 3 months. In 2000, they filmed a movie right here. But in 2007, the actor Nicolas Cage bought that house. They were both on terror. Great actor. Which house he bought? He bought the Wallory Mansion. Oh, 2007. Something about it. He loved our city. He was here constantly. I met him once. Very, very polite. Very, very funny. Very eccentric. Big party. I love all in our city here. Nicholas career back in 2007, 2008. Started making some really lousy movies. Also won a party here in Los Angeles or South America. Got involved in that real estate scheme. I think it was Bernie's Madoff, something like that. Had some tax problems. In 2010, he had a foreclosure on that. All the neighbors said, "You love me, Nicholas. Don't you fuck it up." These are gas plants on your right. I've done a big, big part of architecture. Now this big home is for sale right here. Those gas plants stay put. They're also one of mine 24/7. Don't quite enforce that all the time. It used to be oil back in the old days. The city official used whale oil. The city official would go around running them all the time. Now it's gas and you get to sit on 24/7. We pay water on 24/7. Yeah, it's okay. These are Creole townhouses. There's 2 stories. There's a 3-story up there with all the fence and ironwork.
So this is
The main part of residential architecture is got your shotgun houses, your Creole townhouses. This little house up here with the roof, that's a Creole cottage. I've never seen these shutters open day. You get a tremendous amount of rain here in the springtime. You don't see too many gutters like we have in Ohio, so you tilt the roof like this.
Walking is really hard. Yeah. Last night my boyfriend and I went
These
to
vents on this home on the left, they were put in by the Spanish for ventilation.
and it's hard, like I'll
You really don't do much good anymore. If you want to buy that home, it's going to stay put. The car's the bottom of it, people. Everybody's following it. Again, this is Wall Street. There's an art shop on the left. Very, very quiet street. You can walk way up there. Come down to the walk. Besides my buddy in the back there, who's tried the gumbo? Want to get any gumbo yet? One of our major foods. I definitely recommend it. There's really 2 types of gumbo. You got your Cajun gumbo and your Creole gumbo. In many ways, it differentiates the nationalities quite a bit. Cajuns used to be called Acadian. They came from Canada, up to Nova Scotia and Quebec. The darn British forced them out. Luckily for us, we moved down here. A lot of Cajuns, we shortened the Cajun once they got down here. A lot live in Lafayette. Some live on our coast. Fantastic people, really good farmers. You know how to cook real well. You know how to use the earth real well. We're really meat and potato people. When you make a gumbo, I like to cook, but I can't get this roux thing down. You have to make a roux first. It's time consuming. They know how to use the earth real well. What the Cajuns would do, you get your flour, they just get some lard, put it with your flour, mix that up, get some crawfish on the swamp, shoot a rabbit, get some spices from the earth, get some rice, put that all together, make a nice dark roux, a little bit on the spicy side, and there's your gumbo right there. Real simple, real good. Now Creoles, city people, they will never ever use lard with the roux, always use butter. They're city people. Also, if you eat Creole gumbo, you have some kind of vegetables, usually okra or tomatoes. The Creoles like the vegetables, or the Cajuns are more meat and potato people. It's your basic difference. Sometimes they intertwine a little bit, but that's your basic difference right there. both real good. I couldn't tell you which one's better. I met the famous, you might have heard of Emerald, famous chef down here. I met him about 5 years ago. He put a little cooking demonstration down for us. I got to speak to him. I said, Emerald, I do like to try to cook at home, but I can't get this roux thing down. You're probably impatient. But many party, left hand or right hand? Left hand. Left hand, get a wooden spoon. Never use metal, never use a spatula. Use a wooden spoon and constantly keep stirring that roux. Don't stop. Don't go check the Saint score, October. Just keep stirring and be very patient. With your right hand, drink 2 beers. No problem there, Emma. I got that down. Just drink nice and slow. By the time that second beer is done, you look down at that roux, it's going to be a dark, like a peanut butter color. It's going to be perfect. Wow, that's it. That's it. Man, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Emma, that's how you do it, I guess. It was. Sometimes, and then sometimes I burn that roux and 2 more beers. He was probably pulling my leg by that part. He could probably make a roux and sleep. It does work. Let's go left here, pretty boy. You see those big high-rises buildings up front? After Hurricane Katrina, about 6 feet of water right there. We're 8 feet above right now. The levee didn't break over here much like this. Really big part of architecture. We've got balconies, we've got galleries. There's a difference, right? It's like a very big difference. Those are 2 balconies on your left. That first one was shaking to me. It's like it's sinking in the middle. You only have 2 support beams. Oh my God, the end of it's coming off right there. That's a balcony. I'm not sure if I can want that. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't want it. Got a lean forward. I got the gallery on the right. Go on that, but when you support beams underneath it, got 3 big poles right there, much wider, a lot more support. A lot of our restaurants will advertise, hey, come dine with us, we've got balcony dining. We're usually talking about a gallery. It's just not well known. There was a balcony on Bourbon Street, but we're still there. 6 Mardi Gras ago, it was on national news, packed full of people, it almost came completely down. This is one of my favorite homes on the left. You guys wanted to buy that home right there. Those vents they put. They tell me if you have hardwood floors, those vents go outside that, that's really good. Shutters, ironwork, courtyard and back, everything stays just like that. Gas ventures they put. They really didn't like that yellow mustard color. You talk to that Loop Create Commission, they'll probably let you advance. You talk to them first.
This is where Lulu works, MRB's.
River. The red building on the left. Really big ship to go by right now. Big freighter. Really tall cruise ship. Ship higher than we are.
Lulu! Lulu! She's probably in behind the bar right now.
Very good.
Yes, stop.
My favorite is the Napoleon House. Very accessible. Market, 1 block down the road. Back in the 50s, most of the French Quarter was all Italian-American. So produce, the grocers, so all the produce on the French market. When we getting our turkey roaster back, I did throw bad with Hurricane Ida 2 years ago. Like to open up the window. That's where you get the muffalata. Two big sandwiches here. Muffalata is very, very popular, very, very Italian. 3 types of deli meat, 2 types of cheeses. They put up olive salad, which is fantastic. Put them all around the French Quarter. The other big sandwich, of course, is called a po' boy. Up in Ohio, they call it a hoagie. Down here, it's called a po' boy. The big difference to me is the French bread. Our French bread is real, real good. And crusted. Piece of French bread, the crust is kind of hard. You cut it, it's like hot candy. Because the seafood is roast beef, it's something real good for that. I'm going across the lake right now, it's called the North Shore. My wife and I, we come to town quite often. Here's some music, go to a restaurant. My wife, every time we come to town, she always stops at this place in the life. When's the fish going to buy me something? It's called roadkill. Your costume for Mardi Gras, find it right there. There's your big old river on the left. There's a walkway called the Moonwalk. Definitely recommend it. Beautiful walkway. You ever wonder why they built a city on the swamp? It's that water is everywhere. It's a very, very busy waterway. We've had a lot of famous writers call the city our home. I think the most famous is probably William Faulkner. Tennessee Williams lived here, Truman Capote, Anne Rice, Audrey Wettley. Tennessee Williams wrote a book called Streetcar Named Desire. All familiar with that? The movie, I think it was Marlon Brando, they made a movie about it. When we celebrate the life of Tennessee Williams, every springtime, right up here in Jackson Square. You can take part in the festival if you want to take part. If you want to take part, there's a couple rules. First, you put on your worst white t-shirt, give it a rip at the collar, get down on your knees, yell still as long as you possibly can. Move still. The young lady won't have it. I'm afraid of enough of it. If Sneak do start backing up, Sally probably really look at Thank you.
Hey, Bob! 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 He went down the stairs. Evil Bob.
Let me tie him up.
There he is. Hi, Bob. My sister.
Bobby, how you doing, buddy?
Yes.
Stop digging in people.
Evil Bob.
Does he know?
Yeah, he does now.
I love right now.
Yeah.
You said Bobby.
Yeah, Evil Bob. He's the bartender at Johnny White's tab. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I live at Royal in St. Peter. I pay $700 a month. I've been there 14 years now. It's amazing. Yeah, it's a real nice place.
My little place is down here.
Yeah, I heard you.
Decatur Street.
Yes, I'm doing the video. Thank you, sir.
You all got any questions? I would be a very bad tour guide if I didn't bring this up. I can't do it in a half hour, but straight back, just outside the French Quarter, is an area called the Marigny. If you want to hear music, it's on Frenchman Street. Safe neighborhood, just the opposite of Bourbon Street. They're sound asleep right now. They wake up around 5 o'clock at night. It's all jazz clubs, rhythm and blues, Zydeco, it's all back there. If you want to hear the real deal, it's back there on Frenchman Street. I'm definitely ready. We're closed right now. The cathedral's something to see as well. It should be open. Beautiful architecture.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm going to end this. Ready? Say hi, bye to the folks at home.
Bye.